Yes, thank you. So my name is Jonne Hirvonen and I come from VTT, and we have been studying now for 2 months the use of hubs and its side stream within VTT and Luke researchers in our hub system project. First, a word about hub. In Latin it's humulus lupulus, and it's this little cone which we are referring to most of the time when we're talking about hubs. They have been farmed and used in brewing for centuries throughout the Western world, the whole world. Because of these two facts in here, the humulones, alpha acids and essential oils. These two are used to balance the bitterness, the flavor of beer, and there are hundreds of varieties of hops available worldwide. But there are also other things involved, and most of these are not that important in brewing, and all of these almost are somehow left behind in the brewing process. So that gains our interest in this topic. And in addition to that, hop generates excellent crops for decades, and each year it grows those new stems which might be up to 8 meters high, and they have similarities with hemp. So let's move on. This is the current process how beer is done. It is harvested on site, then sorted, maybe pelletized and extracted, and then used either locally or sent worldwide to breweries to make beer. In the value chain there are two interesting things to take a deeper look at. The hop stems, which have the similarities of hemp, and also there is very interesting chemistry involved. And the most interesting chemical way is in the dry hopping slurry. And because of our change in our beer culture, we are using more and more of these aromatic species, and we might use up to 2 kilograms of hops per hectoliter of beer, which is 100 liters. And we are generating a lot of waste when we do that. And we are using the aromatic species usually in the cold end of brewing, which means that a lot of things are not extracted in the beer. They are left behind in the slurry. There is some numbers from the literature, and we decided to look it through more. And of course, 100,000 tons of stems as leftovers. And we have been farmed hops in Finland also. It has been really important plant here. In fact, right on this spot where I'm speaking right now, in the middle of Helsinki, there has been hop harvesting some time ago, because if you go outside Korjaamo and take a look at the street names, you might notice there is some important words in those signs. But Luke has done some excellent job here. From over 1,000 samples, they have now selected 20 really interesting species to go forward. But how to boost up this production? It takes time. We think we will use our expertise and unleash the full potential of hops, starting from the side stream. So let's side stream now. We took a look on the hop stems. These are not studied that much in the literature. And there are those similarities with hemp, but we discovered that the bark and the intersections are different, and studied it and demonstrated it, and we have figured out that it is usable for at least technical textiles, so it could be used back in the hop farms, but it can be used elsewhere also. And the inner parts have different kind of fibers. They could be used in nanocellulose applications, for instance. And we decided to test some more and do some biocomposite cups, which are available right there in Korjaamo, and we are looking for more in the future, like activated carbon. Those stems, as I said, they are really important in terms of chemistry also, but this dry hopping slurry, which doesn't look that impressive, to be honest, it's really interesting in terms of chemistry. The smell tells it all, so to speak. This is provided us by Hiisi microbrewery, and there is some numbers marked there, and they are pretty close to fresh hops in dry matter contents. And we are continuing this work with the slurry and the stems in chemical way. We are checking whether it's these two side streams are antimicrobial and antiviral, in cooperation with University of Jyväskylä. Why? Because there is some good uses for medical and hygiene applications, such as coatings, maybe even in medicines. But we have just started this journey, and we would like to invite you all in. This is really unique plant, and there is some extraordinary opportunities in it, and we think we should tap the every last piece of hops together. Thank you.
Thank you, Joni. Now I've had time to look at the chat box, and I noticed there have been also some comments for Ida and for you too, Pedro. So we will come back to those separately. But Joni, there was one question here which said, really interesting, when do you think we could buy the products based on your innovation from the shops? Bearing in mind you've only had 6 weeks, I think that's really ambitious, but good question. Anyway.
Yes, well, there is one biocomposite cup over there, but that might be a bit expensive. But I think as the Finland is so good at making things out of fibers, and also we have studied a lot of hemp, it's not that big effort to make something out of it. But the thing is, we don't have the stems yet in Finland. So we have to gain the production, and this is the way we want to gain that. We want to value the side stream and make the production flourish in sooner time.
No, very, very good. Very interesting presentation. As you can see, Luke are interested in this greatly as well, certainly from our side. But also, you mentioned about the antivirals. Are you able to open up that topic? Bearing in mind we're in a very empty hall at the moment due to...
Yes, the literature shows that there are opportunities in that sense, but we want to demonstrate it, and we are doing it in cooperation with University of Jyväskylä at the moment, so we're expecting the results any minute. But the first results from the antimicrobial study show that the stems are really interesting in terms of antimicrobiality in the condition where they are collected from the field. So no treatments done. They are antimicrobial in that sense against S. aureus bacteria, if I'm correct.
Yes. No, I believe you are correct. But I have to say that I think it's yet again proof that we're surrounded by things that can actually help us, which we've overlooked for years. But Joni, thank you so much for this. There is a hand going up in the room. I'm not quite sure. Was this another question? Okay, please, Inga, go ahead.
So thanks, Jonne. Super interesting. How about textiles? Do you see this fiber working in the textile applications as well?
Yes. Well, we didn't have that much time to study it in the detail, but as I showed there, we process it to fresh stems without we did it in two times, because the first one, well, we learned something about it.
Learning by doing.
Yeah, but they are at least for technical textiles there is suitability, but we have to study it further and process. The processing is the bottleneck. We have to handle that in an economical way to go forward. But I think we have it all to go there.
Sounds great. Thank you once again,
Thanks.
Joni.